Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video it's just a load of different jobs compiled into the one video. So basically just what I get up to on the yard every day. So just a couple of jobs. The first thing we have to do is do the feeding. So we'll have to give meal to whatever needs meal given to. We might have to put in a bale, and looking at it I think we do. And for those who might know, the digger and the trailer isn't ours, it's a friend of ours. We just borrowed it, so that's that cleared up. The comments can go easy there. Yeah, a bale needs to be put in, so we'll give the meal to whatever needs getting meal to, which is the calves. We've separated the two cows that we wanted to sell, so the two cows that we want to sell are in their own pen, so they'll get meal. And then we have the white cow and the black cow over in the two corner there. They'll get a scoop of dairy nuts mixed with a scoop of beef nuts, and they'll get about half a bucket of meal. And the two cows that we're selling will get a half a bucket of meal as well. And then we have the calves and the calf creep will get a mixture of beef nuts and some other nuts that we have. We thought it was calf crunch, but it's not calf crunch. Yeah, so we're deciding to give them that instead, and they've been on that for actually a couple of weeks now, so they're not eating calf crunch anymore. But anyways, first thing is do the meal, then to put in a bale, sort out the dung, and then I guess we'll get on with the day then. Yeah. So now we have the two calves and the calf creep. We'll give them meal in their little trough just there, and once we put in a bale we'll give them a bit of silage as well, along with the meal in their trough as well. So we'll go and mix up their little ration of meal as well while we're waiting. So basically they'll just get one scoop of 303 into the bucket. We'll go in here. Now we thought at first that this was a bag of calf crunch, because the bag is very similar to a bag of calf crunch. So we didn't pay much attention to it because we went into the co-op, we asked for a bag of calf crunch, we got our docket, we got our bag, and but this is what we got. So I don't know what that is, but I read into it and it says it's suitable for calves and weanlings, so it's written on it somewhere on the back. It says suitable for feeding to calves and weanlings. So we'll just get the scoop, and we get 1 scoop of that, throw it into it, and we'll give it a quick stir around. And now the 303 beef nuts and whatever that is now stirred into 1 bucket, ready to give to the calves. I have swept any of the bad silage or the silage that the cows won't eat away from the passageway out here, and we are now ready to put in a bale. So as you can see, this is the silage here. This bit here is the silage that I have swept from the passageway. It is along now with the dung from this pen here that the father cleaned out. So we clean out her pen every morning and every evening, and we do just throw it into the box. So once we throw all this into the box, we'll have to go and empty the box, and then once the box is emptied, I have a job or two for it while it's emptied before we put more dung into it. So that'll be for later on in the day. But yeah, we'll check the international for oil and diesel, and we'll throw in a bale. Also, before we do that, ever since we sold the heifers that we sold that time a couple of weeks ago, we're only putting in 1 bale, and they're getting through 1 bale every day and a half to 2 days. So it is now Tuesday morning, so another bale would either have to be put in tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening, or Thursday morning. So that's a day and a half to 2 days. So you know, because we are now about, how many we sold, a teaser bull and I think 3 heifers, so we're about 4 or 5 cattle shorter at the moment, so we only put in 1 bale now, and they're still getting through it as fast as when we had everything here before we sold it, when we were putting 2 bales in at a time. When we had a full shed before we sold anything, we were putting 2 bales in, and they were getting through 2 bales every day and a half to 2 days. Now that we've sold a couple of livestock, we're putting in 1 bale, and they're getting through that 1 bale at the same rate that we're getting through 2 bales. But anyways, we have to put in a bale, so again, check the international, make sure everything is okay on it, and we'll throw in a bale. And that is the feeding done. I've all the silage scraped out. So you've seen in that previous clip, the time lapse, that we've separated one bale in between the whole cattle within the shed. And as I mentioned, they'll get through all this again in about a day and a half to 2 days. So either Wednesday evening, afternoon, or Thursday morning. So the bulk of the silage went to the 2 cows here and the 2 cows there, because they'll probably eat the most. The least of that bale went to the calves, because they will eat the least, followed by the next ones here, got the second most, and then these ones here. I also have the silage gripped into this cow out here in the pen. She has the silage in her barrel there. And I also have the silage brought over to the calves in their trough, in their calf treep as well. But again, as you can see there, they can also eat from the passageway. But there's one over there eating the silage from the trough as well. And when I was bringing the silage over, they had the meal gone, scoffed, licked clean. But yeah, I have the barrels of water here filling. I have to fill this one, which is almost full. I have to fill that one over there, which is basically nearly empty, as you can see. And then I have a little black one over there for the little weanlings as well. The box is emptied, as you can see. So the next job I have to do is go over with barrel of ashes and dump them over the wood. So as you can see, the barrel here is quite full. So we'll just throw the lid on it, as so. So this lid is not the original lid for this barrel. You can see that this barrel was blue and this lid was green. So the original lid for this barrel is kind of twisted and bent, and it sort of dumped. It was just not worth keeping, which means this lid doesn't fit onto this barrel 100% snugly. And in that case, it's not here. The clip was usually hanging there that goes around this, and then you fasten it. I don't know where it went to. But it doesn't really matter, because it doesn't clip this lid to this barrel, because it's not the right duo for it. So what I do is, when I roll it into the transport box, I'll just throw this block on top of the lid, so when I'm going over the road, the lid doesn't blow away. So for any people wondering why in the next clip that you'll see now is why I'm putting a block on top of the barrel and not an actual proper clip for it, that's the reasoning.
29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this?
I absolutely hate that job because you just get covered in ashes, but thankfully it is finished. It only comes around every 3 to 4 weeks. The barrel has to be emptied, so that's not too bad. And over the warmer summer months, there'll be no ashes, not much ashes worth talking about. So it's only, you know, probably around September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Maybe at some point in May it'll stop, which we're almost there. But anyways, enough of that. We'll bring this back to the yard, put the barrel back in its spot, and move on to the next job. And the next job is to bring a lock of timber back to the farmyard. Some of them obviously need splitting, but I won't be doing a video on that. And I think there could be a small pile down below there as well, because after the red warning storm we had in January early this year, Storm Owen or something like that, whether or not you can see it, just that there, it knocked a big branch off of this, and it landed right in front of this little passageway here, so we just had to chop it up so we can get in and out with, you know, to get into the second paddock here. There was just a big lump there, just torn off the tree there. So this is oak. That tree, which has been there quite a long time, is oak, and it's good timber. That good timber. We'll see what it's like once I get it split. There's also a couple of sort of longer bits here that I need to bring back as well at some point, whether I do it in this video or not, to bring it back to the yard, and then we'll chop them up back at the yard. We have an old stand to hold them in place and chop it up with the chainsaw. Same situation there down below. I think there's a couple of blocks that need to be brought back, along with a couple more of them kind over there. But anyways, let's see. There might be a couple of runs here. I don't know would I be able to fit all that into the box. Definitely won't be able to fit all that and whatever is down below into the box, but we'll see how we get on.
I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen, the other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away, but now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen, the other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen, the other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen, the other 11 get something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as
as you can see. There's some bits of timber from the last time I was splitting there. The stuff that split is ash, and that stuff there that I'm going to split at some stage is oak. And also the piles of logs that were in the field is here, as you can see. So there was, I think, 4 piles in total. I sort of unloaded them off camera, basically very similar to loading the blocks of timber, except they're just cut into logs. And what we'll do is we'll put a couple of them up on this, strap them down, get the chainsaw, chop 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 and cut cut cut, and then we can bring them back into the shed. Or if they need splitting, some of them might need splitting, some of them mightn't need splitting. If they need splitting, we'll bring them over where the log splitter is, and if they don't need splitting, we'll put them into the shed ready for burning in the winter. So there's a lot more trees that have been fallen since the red warning we got, the wind in January. So we're still sort of tidying up those trees, cutting them, getting rid of them, chopping them and all that, getting them ready for firewood for the winter, and fixing fences and all that. We're still sort of feeling that we're still tidying up after the storm. But anyways, that's that job done, and we'll move on to our next job, which will probably see us finish the day, because this job probably is going to take the longest. And the last job that will see us finish this day out is I want to trim back a load of this briars and underbrush and all that sort of stuff. You can see that there's a bit of wire there, that's for the gap there. So I just want to tidy it up a small bit so that when we do let the cattle out, we can easily close up the gap and open it if we want. So just a lot of this stuff I want to clear. Up along here, along the fence as well, I want to clear as well, just so that the fence is visible. If the fence needs any repairs, we can repair it before the cattle come out, replace any stakes, replace any or fix any fencing that's broken, whatnot, and just sort of maintain the fences, because the briars and underbrush is sort of growing out on top of it. So that's what's going to finish today, is go around the field here with the alive couple of tools there in the yard shunter, the Mitsubishi Pajero. But yeah, we'll tune up the couple of instruments we have to our disposal and get stuck into it. we go. That's what I'm going to be at for the rest of the day, going all around the fields. Here I need to do a bit more trimming on it. There's still some bigger briars further in there that needs to get clipped, so I'll have to do that again off camera. But the tidying up on this side looks a whole lot better. As you can see, you can actually see the wire now. You can see the electric metal wire on top and the barbed wire on bottom, and everything seems to be okay with that. It doesn't seem to be loose or sagging or anything like that, so that's okay. I also have a pair of gloves just over there for any bit of briars or whatever that's just tangled around the wires, the barbed wire or the electric wire. I can just get the gloves and scull them off with my hand. But the rest of the field should be more or less simple, just to maybe prune downwards to actually get at the face of the fence, then start at the top and then cut then in the middle and then cut again at the ground, which is what I was doing over there. Just to be able to see the wire and then just cut small bits at a time. There's no point cutting big lumps at the one go, because it mightn't be able to do it. So, but anyways, yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing now to see the day through. And that is probably going to be the end of today's video, because it'll probably be too long-winded otherwise, and it's just me doing all that over and over again. So if you like these sort of videos that you see me doing stuff throughout the day, let me know down in the comments. Obviously there'll be more bigger jobs when topping starts beginning, mulching and baling. I can just combine a load of different jobs into the one video. Sometimes I mightn't do it all the time, but I think it's a rather good format. I see a lot of other YouTubers, agricultural YouTubers on the internet doing that as well, so we'll see how we get on. If you want to see more videos like these, just of me doing a load of jobs on the farm, or what I get up to in a day on the farm or a week on the farm and whatnot, let me know. Obviously I can squeeze in jobs into them videos that you wouldn't actually see otherwise, like this. I wouldn't have made a standalone video for that, so I squeezed it into this type of video. But yeah, once you know silage and that begins, I could be, you know, checking up on the cattle. Maybe you'd see me getting tractors and stuff ready and then go out and do silage, and then, you know. But anyways, just let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of these type of videos, and I will do my best to get some done. But anyways, that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my merch, the link to that will be down in the description, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.